Hi guys, this is lesson 11.4, our first lesson from home. This is new for me, so please bear with me as I'm trying to figure this out. I know it's new for you guys too. This lesson is going to be actually rather simple, and you're going to be pumped because you don't have to actually do the whole front side of your homework. I'm actually looking at page 623 right now, and that's the page you need to be on in your books to follow along. You can pause this anytime if you need to get yourself situated. We've been talking a lot about angles, and what we're going to do here is just write the measure of the whole angle. So this whole section right here. And the only thing we need to do there is take these two partial angles and add them together. So it says to write an equation to record our work. So I'm going to see this first angle right here. It's 43 degrees. So I'm going to write 43 on my line there nicely. And I'm going to add it to 37 because we are trying to find a total. So 43 plus 37. Okay, and I'll give you some time to go ahead and solve that. When you add 43 plus 37, you should have gotten 80 degrees. Now, one way to check and make sure that you're right is to look at the size of your angle and see, is that angle 90 degrees or larger? Since it looks like it is an acute angle, it is smaller than 90 degrees, then 80 degrees would make sense. It also looks like it's really close to 90 degrees, so it would make sense for 80 degrees to be our answer there. So now let's go ahead and move on over to this one here on number 2. Number 2, we are going to look at these two angles here. This one and this one. So I'm going to write the two angles down. I've got 90 degrees and I've got 10 degrees. And I know I'm trying to find a total, so I'm going to add them together. 90 plus 10, I'll give you a minute to go ahead and solve that. And you should have ended up with 100 degrees. Now for this one, if we look at it, we've already got a 90 degree angle and we're adding on to it, so we know that it should be bigger than 90 degrees. So 100 degrees does make sense to be my answer here. The other thing we're looking at is the size of this angle, and that it is an obtuse angle, and that is exactly what we are looking for, but it's just barely bigger than 90 degrees, so 100 does make sense. And finally, we're going to go to our last example here where we have 3 angles, and the only difference here is we are going to add all 3 of these numbers together. We are looking for the angle SHR, which I guess is labeled down here RHS. So here we go. We've got 55, 27, and 78. So I'm going to go ahead and write them all down. 55, 27, and 78. And since I am trying to find a total, I'm going to be adding them all together. So I'm going to give you just a moment here to go ahead and try to solve that by adding those 3 together. You can pause the video and solve it. After spending some time working through this problem, you should have ended up with 160 degrees. Now let's check to make sure that makes sense. This angle right here is really obtuse. It is really far away from 90 degrees. It's actually closer to our straight line of 180 degrees. So 160 degrees does make a lot of sense right here. And that's all there is to it. So now, when you head on over to your homework, you'll notice that I did not send you home with protractors. So you will not have to do numbers 4 through 10. All I really need you to do is number 2 and 3 on the front, and numbers 1 and 2 on the back. Let me know if you've got questions.